Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Broke Girls Art School. This is going to be part 2 of my 4-part video series doing real-time burning techniques. The first video I went over the nose. This video I'm going to be going over this like fur texture around the nose and mouth and how I did the mouth. The third video is going to be the eyes, and the fourth is going to be just on general fur texture and the techniques that I like to use. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see some future content, and drop a comment. Let me know what you guys thought. Also, I'll be tagging the links to the other videos in this series in the description box below, along with all the supplies that I use. So in my previous video, I went over the technique on how I shaded the nose. Now I'm going to be going in and doing that like fur texture around the nose and going into the mouth a little bit. I wanted to separate this burn into a few different videos so you guys could see my real-time techniques on how I'm doing the different features in the face. So if you have any questions, please leave a comment and let me know what you think about the real-time videos, if you prefer these over time lapses and so on. I'd love to hear your opinions so I can make sure I'm putting out content that people are finding value from. So first I'm going over and getting that fur texture like coming off from the nose. And I have my coal wood burner set at a 4 right now on the detail setting. I'm actually gonna go in and erase a little bit just to take off some of this graphite. As I've said in my previous videos, I feel like it burns cleaner when you take most of the graphite off of the wood first, so you're not like burning that into your project. Yeah, I'm gonna make a couple other videos for this portrait, doing like the eyes and going in with like fur texture as well, a little bit more in depth. So I'm gonna block out this area that's gonna be black in here, which you can see. Make sure that you leave space for those little, like these little hairs like falling over the mouth. I'm gonna go around the insides of the teeth here. But I always recommend when doing teeth, like when you're doing that little inside line, turn your heat down really low and just make it super light. I just feel like it looks not very good when there's just like harsh lines going through the teeth all the way. I feel like since they're white, like I like to keep it soft in between at least. So I'm gonna turn on my heat just a little bit. I'm gonna go up to a 5 now to get this middle of the mouth. I'm doing some upward strokes just to get that fur texture coming out from the black. And for darkening this, I'm just making little circles. And again, I'll tag the link in the description below for my shading techniques video if you guys are like beginners and you're looking for, you know, different tips, techniques that you can use. That'll give you some good practice techniques for sure. Turn on my heat just a little bit more. At about a 5.5 now, just to darken the center of the mouth. All right, and I'm gonna lower my heat back down to like a 4.5, and I'm gonna go in on the opposite side of the teeth. Like I said, if you're gonna do a line down the center of the teeth at all, make it super light. Sometimes I'll just leave it blank to make the teeth look even brighter and make them stand out. It depends on your personal preference, but yeah, see, I'll do just like the lightest little line in between. So it's not like a really harsh line through the center. And then his like under lip here, go on this last tooth, is pretty much black with some lighter shadows. So I'm gonna up my heat again. I'm almost at like a 6. Go around the bottom edges of the teeth, make this a bit darker. And you can see on the bottom here, it looks like, you know, you have those little fur lines also coming up from these little whiskers. So don't just like pull a straight black line along, like have those little details in there. Again, one of the most fun parts about wood burning in my book is being able to texture things. So I recommend taking advantage of that. Darkening the edges here. I'm gonna kind of mark along just so I can see that line of where the dark shading cuts off, but still keeping those fur texture at the bottom of the lip. And you can see and hear there's like these little white highlights on the black, so I want to accentuate those a bit. I'm gonna turn my heat down, and like I said, you can blow on the tip of your pen to bring the heat down a little bit quicker. You're working around a lighter area, so I'm just kind of mapping out these like highlights. I want to go from that dark to light fade. Raise my heat back up to a little bit over a 5 and darken this on the other side. There's another little white highlight over here that I want to accentuate. Darken this edge of the lip up a little bit more. Again, guys, I can't preach it enough. Layers are important. A lot of times I'll go in with a mid-tone first just to like get a base down, and then I'll go in again and add my really dark details. And you'll see I'll do in a little bit going with my Dremel tool to make the whites for a little bit brighter for like this shiny spot here. Drag these lines out a little bit just to give it some more fur texture.
So right now doing this fur by the mouth here, I'm running my machine at about a little bit over a 5. And just doing these nice upward strokes following the direction of the hair. And if it's longer fur like this, then make sure to do those nice long strokes. I'm going to erase this graphite a little bit here so I don't burn it into the wood. Try to be as fluid with your movements as possible. If it's not burning as dark as you want it to, for you to go at the speed that you want, then feel free to turn up your burner a little bit. You gotta find what temperatures are comfortable for you at the speed that you like to burn. So if you prefer to move really slow and be super intricate, then you're gonna wanna turn your burner down a little bit. But me, I move pretty quick, because I get a lot of requests and I like to be able to keep my burn time within like 4 hours for my price range that I like to charge. Again, you want to make sure that you're burning the hair in the same direction that it is in the photo. Find a different picture here. We'll go on this side a little bit. Same thing over here. Doing those nice long strokes, kind of fading from like a dark to light, you can see here. Like I said, guys, I'm gonna make another video, probably in another area of the dog, doing different fur textures. So keep an eye out for that if you'd like more explanation on how I do my fur. Alright, now we're gonna go in. So I know at the bottom of the mouth here, you can't really see it too much in the photo, but there is kind of like a cutoff. So I'm gonna turn my heat down a little bit since this kind of blends in the photo, so I'm not gonna make it stick out too much, but I do wanna show that kind of shelf at the bottom of the mouth so it sets apart the depth from the head of the dog to the body of the dog. So these like long pieces of fur right here are coming. Make sure you can see where I'm pointing. Sorry, let me zoom out a little bit. So this like long fur down here is coming off of the chin, so I'm gonna want to do like kind of a harsher outline around that, like I said, just so you can distinguish the front of the head to the body. Okay. So I'm gonna turn up my heat just a little bit to like a 4.5. There is kind of this little drop off after the chin here, so try to follow those like hairlines with as much detail as you can. You can kind of see that little swoop coming down like this. So the hair doesn't have to be like totally perfect as long as you have it going in the same direction. So even if you don't have like super crazy precise detail, it'll still be reading in the same way. Erase some more of this graphite. You can see here there's kind of some like dark shadowing coming off this side of the mouth. I'm gonna go ahead and drag that out. Same with here, there's kind of like a shelf going along. So I'm gonna darken that up again so we can distinguish like the bottom of the little chin. kind of moving up and down. I'm not just doing a straight line across. I want to keep that texture going with the direction of the fur. Again, until you're very confident with your shading and stuff, I recommend going in light first until you have, you know, the directions of the fur and everything how you want, and then you can go in and sculpt later. But the more experienced you get, the faster you'll get as well. So I'm gonna move up my burner to about a 5.5. Raise that up a little bit. And we'll throw in some more of this fur texture. Like, if you see big chunks of shadow, don't be afraid to accentuate that, because that's going to give the face more shape. Like, I won't even always follow my stencil perfectly either. Like, if as I'm burning, I think switching it up a little bit will make it more readable, then I'll do that as I go sometimes. Nothing crazy, I just mean like accentuating shadows and stuff. So we're gonna bring this around, following that curve still. Like I said, guys, don't be afraid to stylize if you think it's gonna add some more character to your piece. So it makes art fun, right? Putting your own spin on it. All right, I'm gonna go above just a little bit here. Just to show you guys this kind of fur coming off the nose. Go kind of dark in the center of the shadow just to accentuate it a bit. I'm just dragging out that fur to get a nice fade. I'm gonna turn down my heat a little bit. Blow on that to cool it off. I'm at about like a 3.5 right now. Breaking out this fade a little bit. Excuse me. Alright guys, yeah, so there is basically the shading on the mouth. I'm going to do another video showing you how I do the eyes, and maybe one more showing some more detail on fur texture. So yeah, if this helped you out, please drop a comment, let me know. And if you want to see my future videos, make sure to subscribe and hit that notifications button. Thanks guys.